Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I go live and when I upload more videos like this one. All right, guys. Today we are going to be going over The Wire, season 4, episode number 6. This one is called error of margin or margin of error. Let me look. Margin of error. All right, so as you can see from the bottom of the screen, we have the episode quote, and that is "Don't try this ish at home" by Norman Wilson. Now, before I get my girl up in here, normally we don't do The Wire on Sundays, but since we have not that much content to talk about as far as new shows, we probably will be doing The Wire twice a week now, with Tuesdays and Sundays on board, and also depending on where I'm gonna fit Breaking Bad in. So I gotta figure that out as well. All right, guys. But thank you so much for being here. Let me bring in my girl. Give me the thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, this is my girl, my partner.
Hey y'all, what's up?
What's happening?
You don't hear any feedback. You good? Like, do I sound
It's
too
a little
loud?
loud,
It's
yeah.
overpowering? Okay. How
Mm-hmm.
about now? How about
Try
now? How about
a,
now?
a little lower, probably.
How about now?
That sounds better.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll let you know if it's, if it gets whatever. Anyway, so let's say hello to Lion's Den and God King Consciousness, Joshua Wayne, Michelle. I don't know if it's Michelle or Michelle, but I say Michelle and I say Michelle sometimes, Tim Windsor, hey, thank you so much. And yes, slap the like button, please. Okay, smash it, slap it, flip it, rub it down. Just make sure that you hit that like button regardless. Okay, the SJ Show, what's up, Stan, Rashonda Greer, and Demarcus Vaughn? Thank you once again for joining me. Remember, please, no spoilers, stick to this episode only. And I appreciate the love, guys. All right, Smoochie, let's get into this. Okay, so now this episode starts off with a Sunday morning, and we see folks going to church. We see Randy going to church with his foster mother, and the corner boys are not taking a day off. They are on these streets, and it's busy. It's like it's a serious hustle and bustle, to the point where I'm like, wow, this really doesn't mix. I haven't seen Bodie's Corner so lively, right? Okay, but this is not a good picture. It's kind of blurry. I tried to get different screenshots, but this was the best that I could do. All right. So anyway, like I was saying, so it starts off with a Sunday morning. Now, we see Bodie and his boys on the corner. Now, inside of the church, we see Carcetti. We see the choir singing, and we got Watkins in there. Like I said, Carcetti and his family in the building, his kids dancing to the music and all of that. And then we also have after church, Carcetti sees that he's being smeared by Royce just 2 days before the election. All right. So throughout this episode, I just feel like he and I think it was even before this episode. Before this episode, he also had this attitude where it just sucked, as far as he's just feeling defeated already. And so when this smear campaign situation happened days before, I think it was 2 days before the freaking election, now he's really like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking gonna lose, because they're saying that Royce is getting scared, so now he's just gonna do whatever. All right, you want to say anything to this, Moochie? Because we're gonna move right
I,
on.
I gotta laugh at one of the comments.
Okay.
They were saying Carcetti was so offbeat. He was. They clapping and then he clapping after them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too loud, am I?
A little.
Uh, am I
Sorry.
still too loud?
Just a little. Yeah, offbeat. I know. And his kids was just like doing some. I don't know what they. I'm
He
like,
looked
what
like
are
he was
these
doing the
kids?
funky chicken.
I'm like, what are the kids doing? I think they were holding on to the, like the chair, the back of the pew and everything, rocking back and forth. I was like, shoot, but the kids was feeling it though. They wasn't playing around. All right. So let's move on. Let me see what else we got. So also we have Marlo and his crew. They're being watched by Herc and Sidner, because remember they placed the camera somewhere outside, as we spoke about in last week's episode. But they can't hear anything, so they got a speech reader or a lip reader to translate for them, right? And they hear
Hmm.
that Marlo is talking about picking up the skinny girl tomorrow. Marlo in that scene says he's gonna do it himself. You could say you could speak on that if you want to.
It was like he gonna
Respectfully.
pick up the skinny girl. He want to do it himself because he want it done right. He's
Mm-hmm.
saying all of that, and she's catching every single word that he's saying, and
Mm-hmm.
Herc is on it. He's like, "Oh, they talking about drugs. They talk
Right.
about drugs."
Mm-hmm. The thing that
Hmm.
kind of annoyed me with this scene was how she was saying exactly what they were saying. Like it was annoying. Like, okay, we know that basically if you say what they're saying without saying like the way basically the slang that they was talking, not even the slang, the fact like it's the improper English that they were speaking. And I'm not talking about slang words. I'm talking about
Just
going.
like how he was talking, his
Yeah,
speech pattern.
I want to say the word. I want to say exactly what it is so I could, but I didn't write it down and I don't remember. But I didn't like how she was saying it. It was like broken up English the way she was talking, and I'm just like, that is so annoying. Like we get the point. We know what the heck, you know what. If you speak the proper English, you gonna know what they saying. But she like gonna meet at the something. I don't remember what she said, but the whole point is I was annoyed by it. All right, I really wished I would have wrote down an example so I could just bring my point home, but I was irked. All right, so next we have let me see because I don't think that was Brianna, right? She's telling Naaman and his mom that there's no more money coming in for them. Okay, she tells Naaman that his mother has been paid enough money over the years to the point that he should have enough money going forward, like so clearly it's showing that she was just abusing the money. And by her reaction, Delanda's reaction, you could see that she was not thinking that this was the news that she was going to be hearing. Like, what, the money gonna stop? Like, girl, if you see that his crew is not, the Barksdale crew is not on the streets, and there's no more Avon, how was you expecting that the money was still going to be coming in like that? So you should have been smart with your money. So she's feeling all disgusted and everything, all pissed off, and like, oh, what are we gonna do? This ain't right, and trying to make threats. And Brianna's like, I didn't. There is no disrespect that has had taken place here, and I just wanted to let you know on your own. I'm sorry, I wanted to let you know about this situation myself. So go ahead, Moochie. You can say whatever
I
you want
don't
to
think
say.
Brianna was wrong for that. And
I don't either.
she lost her son in all of this, so she really not kind of messing with Avon because she
Mm-hmm.
still has that question, that doubt with her,
Yeah.
with
Mhm.
D'Angelo. So I see why she's like the way she is. It's no more money. Her son is basically confirming it too. He Naaman is confirming it too because he confirmed it at the visit in the last episode, saying how Bodie got punked off his corner and how
Mhm.
he would have handled the situation. So
Right.
he's the last man standing with the Barksdale crew.
Mhm.
So
And
I
ain't and don't even got a Barksdale package. Now he
exactly.
got Marlowe's package he got to do. So
Hmm.
it's just ridiculous. But for her to try to go that whole snitching route, Bay still tall for ya. It was just like, girl, you're doing way too freaking much. And then she was like, if Bay start talking and this and that, that's not even listen, if Weebay was the type to talk, like it would have been happened. So he took on M's that wasn't even his. So how you
Hmm.
gonna sit
Hmm.
here and tell this lady that you gonna threaten her that he gonna start talking? Girl, I was kind of irked. But I wasn't mad at Brianna for this situation either. But the crazy thing is, when they went home, she was like, you gonna have to stand up, Nay, be the man in this family. All right. So you see how she talked, right? Be the man in this family. That's kind of what I meant, like with the lady, like later on when she was like, we go see Bodie. That's what I was saying with the speech translator, the speech the lip reader. That's how she was saying it. Instead of saying, "Oh, he's saying we're gonna go see such and such," she says, "We go see Bodie," just like we go pick up
She
that
was just
skinny
relaying words that was coming out of his
girl.
mouth.
Right, exactly. But I was annoyed by that. So that's all I'm saying.
I mean, she the
Anyway,
homegirl doing her job.
anyway, since you want to be the lawyer and the advocate, I'm gonna have to get. Um, what was I saying? Okay, so anyway, before we're gonna get to the whole part about that later on the week, go see Bodie. But now she's basically telling him to be the man of the family, and he's like, "That's she said, you was younger than your father when you started to do, when he was doing things." Right. And so he's like, "That's what I'm saying, Ma, because I could quit school and all that." She was like, "You ain't quitting school." And then she said, "Yeah." First I was like, "Oh, okay, at least she got a little sense." But then she said, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh my freaking gosh!" So here's where I'm gonna let you take over. He asked his mother because she said she not taking no for an answer. You gonna get a package from Bodie. That's what you gonna do. You're not taking no for. I'm not taking no for an answer. He said, "Well, you just did, right?" And then he also asked his mother, "What did Brianna mean by saying I should have enough money going forward?" So you go on ahead, Moochie, and address that.
I
All of
I
that.
feel like that she was compensated. Okay. Let me go back. I feel like Weebay was compensated, and she
Uh-huh.
blew through the money.
Yes.
She blew through the money. You got to look at what she got. Look how she
I
got the
was look
place decked out with all
I
these
was looking
trinkets
at
and stuff like this.
yes.
Look, I mean, she's still old school because she got the plastic on the couch, but she got she got this place decked out. But she's still old school because she got
Uh-huh.
the plastic on the couch. But she got
Right.
a Benz.
Mm.
She keep naming laced in the freshest gear.
Mm.
He got and back then. That's when all of those jerseys was out, the throwbacks. So
Yep.
she wearing everything that's in style.
Mm-hmm.
And her, she dressed to the nines too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not like
Yeah,
she's dressed to the
not
nines
like
in
Monet,
hood
but yeah.
style to me.
Mm-hmm.
So she went through that money. She
Yeah.
went through that money because she thought it was gonna stay coming in because they was connected with the Barksdale
Barksdale.
crew.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I was saying, girl. You blew that money, and he was like, and she was like, "That be lying." No, she ain't.
No, she not.
She's not lying. And and where was your sense, right? Like, that they're not on the streets anymore. Um, what's his name? What's his Barksdale? He's not who he Avon is not that man anymore, right? So, and he's not bringing in any money from the streets. So why would you think that this was gonna last? Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if she was not working because
yeah,
that's how good she had it.
yeah,
Where she like a job.
right.
But
You need to step up. I'm counting on you, Nay. Be
to
the man
me,
in this
that was
family.
when you should have took. That's when you supposed to woman up
Uh-huh.
and take the reins.
Exactly.
Once he got locked up, she should have started working. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but she ain't thinking like that. She don't got
Mm-mm.
no
She there
brain.
sitting in the house smoking cigarettes and talking to her girlfriend.
Yeah.
Girl,
Uh-huh.
let me
Laughing.
tell you.
Laughing on the phone and all that. And that, I forgot to
Hmm.
mention about how when they was on their way, because Brianna called them, they was getting in the car. She was like, your father stood tall for this family, this and that and the third and all of that. Oh, they owe us. Oh, she no talent. She a box there. She no talent. It's so funny that she talked all of that. And then when they got there to get like
The
their
joke was on
bubble
them.
bubble pop, and then he said like father like son.
But you know what else? You know what else?
I'm like far from it. Go ahead. Sorry.
You know what else about this part? She thought that they was going to give Naaman a package.
Mm-hmm.
She thought she thought that the Barksdale crew still had it like that, and they was going to put they was gonna put naming on like how they put his father on because he's around the same age. I mean, that's how that was the interpretation that I got from it.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, that's just, yeah, pretty much. I mean, she clearly thought that they was going there for some type of promotion. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And so it was just like, girl, you're bugging out. God King said she reminded me of Smokey's mom from Friday. She doesn't remind me of Smokey mom, but the funny thing is, while she was on the phone talking with the friend, I was literally about to do the ha ha ha. Yes, it is. Remember that when she did that? Yes, it is. But she was looking at him like, make it enough, right? And that's when she did that. I was literally thinking about whole that scene before, but I don't think that they remind me of each other. No. Hey, Marlon,
Hey,
say
Marvin.
cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so he tried to call her out on it, and she was like, boy, bring me that daggone phone, because he was like, you just took no for an answer. And then she was like, woohoo. He was like, with Brianna. She said, boy, give me that phone, give me that daggone phone or whatever. Because she ain't had nothing to say. Like, he looking at his mother like, how you gonna take no for an answer? You telling me not to take no for an answer, or she claims she ain't taking no for an answer, but you just did. So
She ain't
anyway,
have a choice in the situation.
exactly. What's she gonna do?
Brianna probably glad that she away from that business, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And they had other businesses, I think. So she might be she might have been the person that was the clean person where he still, because remember, A1 had nothing in his name.
Right.
And he wasn't on paper. They ain't have pictures of him.
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't be surprised if she's all right.
Right.
Thank you, Marlon.
Exactly. Because I was thinking about the legitimate businesses and stuff. I'm like, well, maybe something is still flowing, in that area, but that don't mean they get to get none. Like, I can't keep on. I'm about to cut y'all off. That's it. Money
Yeah,
ain't
I gotta
coming in.
cut. Look, I gotta cut this faucet off because I ain't gonna run out of money. So I'm gonna look
Exactly.
out for myself.
Exactly. She feel like she done paid enough.
Mm-hmm.
But this scene right here was funny because he was just going along with everything, like, she thinks she got it all figured out. Like, yup, like he didn't care. He did not
He
care about
to
this
me, he don't care
conversation.
at this point because he's not out.
Right. He
And he
doesn't
got his own
care.
problems in there that he worried about.
Mm-hmm. He does not care. So he like, man, I done did what I already did, and girl, please with this nonsense. He like, I already know. He know his woman, and that's just that. So
Mm-hmm.
all right, guys. So next we have this little meeting situation with what are these meetings called? Because I know the other one was ComStat. What is this one?
Okay, well, that's probably like the roll call thing, like where
Okay.
they briefed them about what they got to
Mm-hmm.
be doing out there and who's hot, and basically that's what they did. They was
Right.
talking about
How Omar? Yeah.
okay, they was talking about Omar, so
Right.
that was like and everybody know Omar, so they like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we ready to get him. He's on paper for doing this.
Right. It's about time and all this, and so McNulty is like,
Nah, this
have
don't
you ever
sound
heard?
right.
Right. Have you ever heard him to do what, civilian? Wow. I was going to say celebrity. Wow. Um, do a civilian? Like, this don't sound right. But this dude right here to the right is just like, yeah, about time we got this, sea sucker or whatever he said. And but McNulty, he's smarter than that, which is, why what's his name, Freeman, I think wanted him to join the homicide team and stuff, because he knows that he's good police at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, he's not trying to, he ain't buying this whole situation. Everybody's so excited, like, oh yeah, we finally got him. He on paper, blah blah blah. No. And that's the problem. Sometimes I feel like with police officers, whether it's in real life or on TV, when they're after somebody, it's like it doesn't matter how they get them, even if it's for a crime that they didn't commit. They just gonna go ahead and take what they can, right? Meanwhile, you could be letting the person that really did the crime get away with it, which is pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let me see. I don't Okay, so next let's talk a little bit about, and we don't really have to talk much about it, but we just see that Prez continues to help Dookie. I don't have a picture of that. There's he continues to help Dookie. Like he calls him, right as soon as they come into the school, he calls him. He's like, "Hey, I gotta he come with me." He has a locker that like basically a little signed locker or something for him, letting him know like,
Mm-hmm.
look, you
You
could
could take
give
a
me your dirty
shower and
clothes.
all of
Yep, you
that.
come up early, take a shower, I'll wash your clothes and all of that. So I'm like, this is so nice, warms my heart and all of that. Now, what do you think about that? I know we talked
I
about it last
like
week,
the
but
fact that we see a softer side of Prince.
mm-hmm.
And because of that, we see him actually like getting to know these kids, know their lives, know what's going on with them,
Mm-hmm.
and know if they're really a good kid or a bad kid.
Yep.
And um it's like, I know I talked about it last week, but we see the growth in this character, and I like the
Mm-hmm.
arc that they're showing. As far as at first he came out looking like a pure racist in the beginning, but
Yeah.
he's not. He just,
Mm-hmm.
he just was with a. He seemed like in the beginning when he was a police officer, he might have got mixed in with the bad bunch when you come in and picked
Mm-hmm.
up bad habits, but he's not really he wasn't really about that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even when you saw how he was after they took him off the streets, you saw that he wasn't a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He just wasn't a good police officer. Like
Exactly.
he was a screw up. It wasn't his calling. And he wound up getting, especially because of the community that they serve. Look,
Mm-hmm.
so-called serve, right? It's black kids in Baltimore. It's black people. It's black civilians. So every mishap is going to most likely be is going to involve somebody black, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's going to always make him look like the racist cop. So when you think about it that way, it's like, okay, well, he wasn't racist all along. This is just what it was back then. And yes, he seemed like he was a kind of a jerk. Honestly, he did, especially when he hit that kid in the eye. Like that was so uncalled
Yeah, I
for.
was mad at him then. I was like so
Yeah.
mad at him where my opinion really changed about him this season. When he
Mm-hmm.
came in that school and how between, because this is his first year in this.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to see a change in him and I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's starting to see, listen, these are people, they come from certain backgrounds. They have, it's unfortunate the cards that they were dealt, you know what I mean? And he has a heart for them and he wants to help, and I love that part. All right. So let's see. The next thing that we're gonna talk about is Paul and Manel. They got no love for Tiffany. Mm. Go ahead. You want to talk
Mhm.
about that? Just that little scene right there when she's like, "Hi, Paul. Hi, Manel."
They was
And
real nasty to her, and then Big Mouth naming. He don't
yeah,
keep nothing to
come on,
himself.
add the disrespect.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
you.
what set it off.
Mm-mm,
Naming Big
right.
Mouth behind.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think of that because he helped to embarrass her. You
Hey,
know.
Little Rock.
Yeah. Hey, Little Rock, and Barbara's all in Tamika's den
And
and
Savannah.
Savannah. So yeah, he helped add to the embarrassment. And she's standing there in front of her girls, and they looking like, girl, nobody told you to go up in that bathroom with them, you know. And so we see later where this takes us, but we're gonna move on. But this is the thing. Before we move on, this is the reason why you thinking giving up the cat is supposed to make somebody like you,
Mhm.
and that doesn't happen all the time, especially if you let more than one person do it at the same time. Like, come on now, you jacking up, you making yourself look bad. They're not gonna respect you from that. Okay, what's up, Tina? All right, so let's see what else we got. All right, so now we see that the Stoop kids have gotten scooped up, okay? And they
Mhm.
being taken into this place. They're like, what we do, we in trouble, this and that. And like, just come on, So when they get to the little location, that's when they find out that they're going to be in a new classroom and it's a new system and it's supposed to help them and prepare them and all this stuff. And once again, who has something to say? Naaman, oh, it's going to prepare us for gym pop, because this is solitary confinement, all of this stuff. You wanted to say anything about that?
He talk a real tough game. So he ready
Mm-hmm.
for it. He ready for it where he ready to act out.
Right.
And it
He's
seemed like he tried to get a lot of people on board with him to do stuff.
mm-hmm.
So
Because he
he's
a
like,
little pizzunk.
Yeah, he like to get people on board with him with things if they gonna rebel. But
Mm-hmm.
this is the same teacher that was messing around with Cuddy back in the day,
Uh-huh.
and we see
I
her
be
with her little career. She's a good teacher, and she's a no nonsense person,
don't play
and
no
they know
games.
not to play with this woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she's basically to me one of the teachers that they listen to that has no nonsense. There's a couple of teachers they showed you where they know when this person's talking, that teacher means business.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She a hard lady. In the words of
Hmm.
Donut.
What they
She
what
don't
kids
ever
be
give
like,
nobody
she
no
don't
play.
play.
Yeah.
Miss so
She
and so
don't
don't play.
she don't ever give her brother no play.
Hmm.
Okay, so do you want to talk a little bit about, and I'm just gonna glance, I just was glossing over, I
Whatever.
don't really care.
I'm right here.
So Clay Davis wants to meet with Carcetti and have a little lunch. Now I feel like this is a get in when you fit in type of situation just in case. What do you think about that whole lunch? Yeah.
That one.
You noticed how when Norman went to him to Tommy with the basically the news that uh Clay wanted to meet with him, he was like, so what is that gonna do for me or whatever? He said, eesh, like you just the way Clay does it. I was like, is he basically kind of like making fun of him a little
Because
bit? It
he
felt like
know his
that.
game.
Yeah. I was like,
He
oh,
know
did
his
he just
game.
do that?
Carcetti don't know plays
He
the
don't know.
game, so he
Yeah.
know how he played. You got to grease Clay arms before
Mm-hmm.
he play ball.
Right. And Carcetti, you can see he don't want to deal with no slime balls. Like I don't want no slime balls. Like I just don't want it.
Hmm.
So, but how do you think the lunch went? Because from what I looked like, it was just like, okay, yeah, we sitting down with you, but no, thank you, we're out of here.
I feel like he knows that he's okay. We know that they starting to sling mud,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't want to run his campaign like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows if he puts this guy on with them, they gonna start slinging mud back, and he don't want to do
Mm-hmm.
that.
Right. And he's like, especially when it's so close. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
come on now.
And
So,
especially because you gotta grease his palm. He not
mm-hmm.
doing
Right.
nothing for free.
Mm-hmm. He won at least 20 G's.
Hmm. He want his palms greased,
Totally.
oiled, and everything.
Yeah, he's such a shyster, I tell you.
Hmm.
All right. Now, where else are we? Okay, so now guys, oh my gosh, of course, because listen, on the way, look, on the way down to their new holding cell or classroom, I'm gonna say holding cell according to naming, right? Hey, Candy Love and Eric S.
Hmm.
So on the way down the hall, to their new little room, we see Tiffany in the office crying to the principal. So now we get to the scene where Randy is in trouble now because she told the principal that Randy was a lookout. Now, Moochie, oh my gosh, I don't know what's wrong with this little boy, but you know what? I'm gonna say how I feel about it. But the fact that he started to snitch on every little thing that had literally nothing to do with the situation was so frustrating to me. As soon as you say you're gonna call Miss Anna, he's like, "Oh no, wait, I'll tell you this, I'll tell you that, I'll this, I'll that." And then what did he say? I know about an M. Okay, go ahead, Moochie, and then I'm gonna say how I feel about. I'm gonna try to be his little advocate. But go ahead.
He doesn't even realize how much trouble he's getting himself into right now because he's so worried about not being involved with this. And
Mm-hmm.
I get it because he's a kid.
Right.
So he think he getting dragged into the R situation.
Right. Right.
Because technically he is because he was the lookout.
Mm-hmm.
So I know if this he worried about this getting back to Miss Anna
Mm-hmm.
because he know Miss Anna is ready like one more thing. And I gotta,
Yeah.
I can't be bothered with none of this. I want a nice, quiet life. I'm giving you a good home.
Right.
You fed, you got good clothes or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
this type of behavior, I don't want to be bothered with.
Right. Yeah. And so as you're saying that, that's what I think his problem is. He is so afraid. Like he must have been in a very terrible, or a few terrible group homes or foster homes before Miss Anna, and Miss Anna is giving him a pretty good life. Like you said, she's taking care of him, this and that. She's not abusive or anything. And for him to lose that, he's not trying to lose that. So then he goes frantic. Like, I think for him it's anything for me not to have to go back to the group home or to another foster home where I'm mistreated, or I got to deal with this type of stuff that I dealt with in the past. And I think that's why he starts going off like that. But it's like, bro, you're not helping. You're really, really not. And like you said, at the end of the day, he is still a kid, but it's just like, you know, he keeps getting himself in these crazy situations. He's like, you either need to stay the heck off the street or be alone or be by yourself, so you can, because you don't have good judgment, apparently. And when you get caught out there, you start running your daggone mouth. It's ridiculous. I mean, he started talking about, remember the kid that remember the slash tires or this and that. I know who did that. Like, why are you snitching on something that don't got nothing to do with what we talking about right here?
He was just telling everything. Look, I'm gonna say anything, but and once he said the M word, she gotta say something. She didn't want to because Press was like, "Am I going too far?"
That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, she was, because Press was like, let me get somebody to handle this, because he knows this is going to be a sticky situation.
Yeah. And he's like, just hold on. He's a good kid and everything. And let me, just at least let me call somebody that I trust. So that's when we see him go to Daniels and tell Daniels about the situation. And Daniels is like, because Daniel knows too that if this gets out, it's going to be a problem for this kid. And if you care about him, we're going to have to keep it close. So he says, I'm going to give it to somebody who has discretion. Who does he give it to? Carver. And I wish the name was like Carver. He's like, yeah, Carver done came along. Ellis came a long way.
Carver should have handled it. But I feel like with this, they're thinking about how they dropped the ball with Wallace. So they want to be real careful with this time. Yeah. Yes, I am scared to talk, Eric S. I'm not trying to get on Miss K Bear's side tonight. He know me.
Don't even try it. Don't even try it. We're going to see how
in a second.
I meant to do this one. This is the drowning syndrome. I'd like to look that up. You know anything about the drowning syndrome, Mooch? Never heard of it, baby. All right, but it sounds like something I'd love to read on. All right, Marlon Easton said that.
To break it down for us.
Right, Randy turned into Sammy the Bull.
And not only Eric S got his first comment, he's right. When he made the comment at 8:30, he did snitch the last time with the graffiti kid. Because remember, they didn't know where it came from at the time. The other kids, they was just like, "Yo, you heard so and so got caught for doing graffiti." Right. And he had that look on his face. He told.
Yep. Yeah, he's just a little tattletale, But also, so now we see Carver. He goes to talk to Miss Anna, right? And the thing about her, of course, she is concerned about his safety. But she also doesn't like the fact that he's shown bad judgment in both of the instances. The instance with the school, being a lookout, and with the situation with little Kevin or whatever. Look, Fat. That's not nice. I was gonna say Fat Kev, but it's little Kev, right? My bad. So with him. They are so funny with this calling big people little and little people big. Like, it's so funny. But anyway,
they ain't do that with people around your way back in the day. Call a big dude tiny.
Yes, that's what I'm talking. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about black folks.
What up, Tiny? Meanwhile, he big as a house.
Like, what?
Look, you ain't calling him fat.
No, you know. I'd rather that, right? Yeah, you better call me Tiny. Never know who's coming. Never know who's gonna show up. Okay.
What up, Tiny?
So, yeah. So she just she took it well, but she still was. It's not like she was like, I'm gonna get him out of here, this and that. So the plan is to go to school, stay out of trouble. Continue. We're not gonna let this get out. That's how they trying to protect him, right? which is a good, this is a good thing right now. Renee said, "Leave Tiny alone." Leave Tiny alone, okay? Okay, so now it's election day, okay? And before I get into what I'm gonna say right now, we see Cuddy leaving a woman's home, and she's like, "Where you going?" He's like, "I'm going, for a jog or this and that. Basically, I'm done. Yeah, you not coming back."
Like, I don't live here.
Right. And then we see later on that he is really macking over there at the daggone gym. Different folks' mamas. I'm like, bro, I thought you was chilling. Remember in the beginning how they was bringing him food and this and that thing? He was just like, no, thank you. I got a lot of things to do here. Man, that turned around real quick, okay?
He was getting food and the cookies.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, he's getting the food and the cookies, and the Cuddy was getting the Cuddy.
Cuddy was getting the Cuddy.
He was getting the Cuddy.
He sure was.
He's living up to his name, getting the Cuddy.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I got the Cuddy last night. So he could say he got the Cuddy last night, and the girls could say I got the Cuddy last night, because they got him. Could go both ways. Where you was, girl? I got the Cuddy last night. Anyway, so I love that shirt, by the way. And you be looking very nice in purple, and I love purple. So anyway, now, like I said, it's election day, and Randy gets a little job passing around pamphlets or little flyers or something like that on election day. But also, it was Spider there that he ran into, and when during the jog, Cuddy was coming like, "Yo, Spider." He ran right the heck out of there.
Like, I'm out.
Yeah, he ran out of there. So one of the guys comes, that works for, I guess, one of the campaigns. He's like, "Hey, where the older dude go?" He dips, and then Randy was able to get him a little job, okay? Passing out flyers, going put him at the, put him on the doors and all of that. And he got his little friends to do it. Mm-hmm. And one thing I'll say about that is that you could see his work ethic compared to his friends. His friends didn't want, once they found, they didn't want to do it anymore because they said it's boring. First of all, when you're doing something like that and you have all your friends, you shouldn't even care if it's boring. It shouldn't be boring because you're just passing stuff out. Y'all could be bugging out while you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that.
That was naming, and he's like the ringleader of that, where he like, I don't want to do this.
But he wasn't.
I'm trying to remember if I saw Michael there.
Michael said no. Naaman wasn't there because
I remember why Naaman
he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't there. And then we had, so it was Kennard, Dookie, and Donut, right? And then they found out that he got the money first. So they're like, "Man, we don't got to do this no more. Pay us our money, this and that." He should have never told them that. I was like, oh my
God. Talks too much. That's his problem. Really, you can't hold nothing close to your chest.
No.
He was a businessman, but he had a good work ethic with that candy situation. Mm-hmm. So that showed you his work ethic there. He gonna make his money.
Right.
And when he had that, he had it down to a science. I'm gonna switch shirts, go down there lunchtime, and do what I gotta do.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. He got a little hustle in him. So because he already told the dude, he promised him he's gonna finish the job, he had to go finish the job on his own. And unfortunately, he ripped himself off because he had to pay people that didn't help him. You know what I mean? Like, it was just stupid. I'd be like, y'all not getting this money. I wouldn't even told them that it was the money. Forget all of that. I would have had one.
We gotta go back to the dude and get the money.
Yeah, I would have. First of all, I would have probably just asked Dookie and nobody else. Like, I'm not asking all of y'all.
Didn't Dookie finish it with him?
I don't think they went to the store and he told Dookie to get me something. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I went to the store while he was finishing everything.
Yeah. And then Donut wanted to get a car. Like, at least we can get a car. He like, man,
he don't care.
Yeah,
for his little behind.
Like, I'm not trying to get caught out here. You better stop playing. Okay, so now the reason why Naaman is not there is because he busy playing his video games at home, and then Delonda comes through, and her stupid behind, I don't know where she be at, but she doesn't even know why she doesn't know the reason he's home, which is because it's election day. Like, why you ain't at school? And he's like, because I don't even think he said it was election day, right? I don't remember him saying it was election day either. I'm
Nah,
like,
he
what?
didn't. I don't think it was. It wasn't really election day. It might have been. They might have. I don't know. I know he was home and she couldn't figure out why he was there. But how you not into your son's school?
If it wasn't election day, the schools shouldn't have been closed. But here's the reason why I thought it was election day, because they were at the polls. You saw Royce at the poll. He casted a vote. They was at the ballot. The ballots were open,
Okay,
and
so then maybe it was election day,
maybe it
like you
was a
said.
pre. Maybe it was pre-election.
Yeah, but usually they have school of primaries or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
Eric S
Eric
said it
S.
was election
Yeah.
day.
So right. So I put it down that it was election day, because I saw them voting. I saw what's his name, Tony voting, Royce voting, stuff like that. Okay. So now, she was like, all right, that's when she said, we go see Bodie. You ain't just gonna be sitting around. So when they go see Bodie was like, I'm not trying to give him no package. Do you know how hard it is? Listen, I am doing a favor out of respect for Weebay. Like, this kid, he is horrible when it comes to working.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Look, he worked there half a day before because
Yeah.
they already got money for school supplies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got that flashy ponytail.
Mm-hmm. That he don't want to braid up,
Mm-hmm.
no matter how many
Then
times.
then on top of that, he's supposed to be lookout. You sitting there reading a book. I mean, looking at a comic.
A comic book.
Yeah. Yo, he's horrible.
He is.
He can't even send a signal out of something going down. Ooh, ooh. No,
Mm-hmm.
he can't even do none of that because you know why? He busy got
He
his
not.
his face buried in a comic book.
Exactly. So he wasn't trying to hear it, but she wasn't trying to hear it either. Like she told her son, I'm not taking no for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I will let Bay know about this and all of that. He got a cell phone. You want to call him? And he was like, man, I mean, I got respect for him, this and that. Then have respect for his family. I'm like, this lady is something else. And after that, he was like, I see why you are the way.
Yo,
I
but he
see
was
why you
right
are.
though. He was right. He was like, your mother's a dragon lady.
Right.
I see why you the way you are.
Yeah, it shows.
So to me, my question is this, Miss K. Do you think that Delonda made him sore?
I wouldn't say that. Why would you think so?
I'm just asking.
I just feel no, I mean, I just feel like it's just not in him. I
Okay.
feel like the way she is, you would think he would be a little hard. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I think he just soft because it's just not in him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because she's trying to push him into that street life. That's all he's around, this and that. But at the end of the day, it keeps showing he just wants to be a kid. Like there's moments where I'm looking and I'm like, Nana just want to be a kid.
Exactly. To me, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go deeper into it because I feel like Weebay kept his kids hidden from that life.
Mm-hmm.
They knew about him, but they ain't knew how he. I don't think he found out how hard his father was until he got locked up, and that's probably why. Because his daughter, his mother was telling the war stories that she know, and then when
Mm-hmm.
he was going to visit him, that's the way they was bonding. He was finding out different things. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he wasn't around stuff like that. I'm looking at okay,
God King,
her
the
coddling him
coddling.
made him soft. Okay.
What coddling though? That's what I mean. Like I didn't see that. It seemed like she's more forceful. Like you gotta step up, babe. This and that and third. Hold on, Mooch. My daughter's
Mhm.
calling me.
I
Go ahead
don't
and talk
I
to me.
don't think that she was coddling him. She coddled him up until Weebay got in his situation. I feel like King God conscious. Your mom's the dragon lady. Show some respect for the family. Yeah, she kept them. Yeah, look, I know y'all going ahead, and I ain't trying to get in trouble for even reading that comic, Eric. As you trying to get me, like, put on mute. Anywho, Eric S trying to get I got look. Anywho, All right, so
Sorry, what did I
it's
miss? My
okay.
daughter's calling me.
You ain't missed nothing. I just was reading the comments, but don't read any of them. So
Oh,
I'm giving you fair warning.
okay. So let me get out of here first for a little while then.
Nah,
All
he
right.
removed it.
Okay. So that means I can't go back to watch
Yeah,
this
don't go.
video.
Yeah.
See how y'all ruining things for me? Anyway, what was he talking about? Okay, yeah, the coddling part, I didn't see it. Maybe that's something coming up where,
No.
okay.
We're asking you that question now.
Yeah,
Do
so
you
I
think that
didn't
she
see
was
the
coddling
coddling.
him?
No, because I feel like she was trying to push him out there too much.
What about before all of that? Before the money was gone?
Before the money was gone, she was pushing him out there. Remember that? That's the
I
reason
know,
why
but
he was working with Bodie.
yeah, but before all of that,
Mm-hmm.
before the situation happened, do you think that she was coddling him when they had it like that, where they didn't have to work?
If you say, to me, coddling is like, you basically are kind of like babying someone or this and that, and I just didn't see that, or kind of protecting them in a way. I didn't see that from her. She don't seem like no
I
coddler in
saw
my
that with
opinion.
the
The
school
school
clothes
went
situation.
with the school clothes. It was just more like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you to do this and that and the third, but she still went, and that was just like a spoiled situation. You just see that he's spoiled. I
Okay,
wouldn't
all
really
right,
look at it as,
okay.
as a coddling, because I don't feel like she would even have him out there hustling. And if that's the case, that's just my opinion. I don't know. It could be,
No, I had to
you know.
ask that question for the simple fact because the way it's going. But go ahead.
Yeah. But I was saying that when I look at him and I see the things that he's doing, you see, we go back to these scenes that after his mom wants him to do this, he wants to hustle. Oh, you got to be a man. We saw in different episodes where the episode ended with him playing a video game.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to be a kid. When he goes to school and act out, he wants, I believe him acting out is just like, oh, I'm gonna be, it's for attention and also to be accepted, which is stupid, but it happens, right? And um then we have another situation where he's just playing a video game, playing video games, right? And then when he gets a package, he goes and tells Michael about it, and Michael's like, nah, I don't want to get in on it, that's not my
That's all
thing.
you, son. That's
Yeah,
all
and
you. I ain't
and
doing
you
that.
could see on Naaman's face that, I wish I could just be right here with you doing this. It ain't really me.
Yeah,
I
but he
want to hang
wanted to
out
get
with you.
to me. He wanted to get Michael on because he know Michael. Michael don't play. He's a tough kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah. What's his name? Says a domineering mother can create a soft son.
Mm.
Well, I wouldn't know. So now let's go on ahead. Uh, and I think that's just, I think those are just possibilities, right? Like you got a mother that could be, she could make you hard from being hard on you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you could have a mother that she could make you soft from being hard on you. It just happens. It's every like every method is not going to have the same results. I mean, like every one method doesn't always equal the same results, right? I was talking about that a little bit on with the Griselda Blanco story, how her mom had her selling herself as a kid, and then it kind of taught her that you, as a mother, you get your kids in on your hustle, kind of, right? But
Yeah,
then
she was.
some mothers,
It was learned behavior with her, I believe.
right? And so but sometimes it is learned behavior from your parents, but sometimes you learn that behavior and you switch it because you don't want to do the same thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's basically,
Some
yeah,
people switch it up where they don't want to be nothing like how they was raised.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
but in turn, they mess around and spoil the crap out of their children, and they still screw up
Mm-hmm.
because you now you done made your kid spoiled, and they don't know how to go into the real world, work for nothing, take no for an answer. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that. Okay, so this scene right here, Cuddy is, I guess, from that other night when they went to go watch that boxing match. Him and Spider was talking. Michael and Spider were talking about how, oh yeah, that girl, talking about girls and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to connect with Michael, but Michael was not. He wasn't trying to hear it. So now excuse me, now he's messing around. I mean, now he's talking and he's saying like, I love the lady, she fine, right? This and that and the third, saying all of this stuff, and he's like, man, I ain't trying to hear nothing you gotta say. So long story short, he winds up asking if Michael has seen Spider, and he said, yeah, and he said, well, where he been? He ain't been around this and that. He was like, why don't you ask his mother?
Yeah.
So that's when, it was like, well, come on, I've been locked up for a long time. Like, what you expect? I ain't no angel. And Michael said, yeah, you ain't that.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm like,
far from
what?
that. That's what he
Right.
said.
And I said, and I'm like, no, he said, you ain't that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, why is he so upset with Cuddy as if he did something wrong? You're in this man's gym and you're coming there as a way to just, practice, do whatever you want to do, and get off the streets and all of that. What is your problem?
At this time, we don't know why.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying, just sticking to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your issue?
He's just trying to figure out like why he's so, but he's not saying it, Cuddy.
Right. And then, even if, look, there's an underlying issue clearly with him, with Michael.
Mm-hmm.
But from the outside looking in, it's like, what the heck is wrong with you, little boy? You have no respect for this man, but you're up in his gym. If it's all that bad, why the heck you keep coming back to the gym? That's all I'm saying. So you know what? Don't say, of course, you're not going to say anything, but I don't even remember. And I wonder, are they ever going to have some type of breakthrough? I literally don't remember. So let's move on. Let's move on. All right.
You're not going to have me spilling the beans.
I'm not going to say
saying
nothing.
a word. You figure it out. You figure it out.
Be quiet. Okay, so Omar is arrested, right? But before he leaves the store, because he sees in the mirror that there's cops outside, he sees the cop car, through the mirror and everything. And so he hides his gun in one of the refrigerators.
Mm-hmm.
And when he gets out, who is the one who comes out of the car? The worst officer he could probably ask. Well, one he didn't ask for, but you know what I mean. Officer Walker's like, oh, I can't stand that guy.
Neither can
so
I.
He's
I
like,
can't stand
yeah, grab the wall. Like, oh, he's such a jerk. So, he
he's
grabs the wall. Mm-hmm. And what does he do? I see you listening to the thing. So he takes the ring that Marlo took from Old Face Andre, right? That he took from Marlo, that Marlo took from Old Face Andre. Okay, so now McNulty shows up on the scene, and he learns that he's being arrested for M, and he's like, "What? Who I kill, yo? Like what's going on here? This and that." And he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna need to make a phone call. I'm going down the book because I need to make a phone call." And so they're like, "All right." So McNulty lets him make a call, and he calls Blind Butchie. And then when he gets down to Central Bookings, we see that folks do not like him, Uchi.
He knew what it was gonna be. He done robbed half the mother fathers in there. He like, yo, Butchie, I'm locked up. He sent out an SOS with that phone call.
Yes, because he knew it. So clearly, it was very highly anticipated that the hate was going to be real. Mm-hmm. All right, but thankfully, they Blind Butchie brought in.
And this is the fourth time that ring changed hands.
Yeah, I know y'all was talking about it again. I don't want to visit the ring situation because somebody already said something last time that irked me, so I don't even want to talk about the ring. Leave it alone. Yeah, but I am watching. Just so you guys know, I am watching the ring situation.
All right. Okay.
So when these guys come in, he was ready. Like, I'm gonna have to.
Look, he was ready to get it on. Yeah, look, I gotta get it on with these dudes. I'm not gonna go down. I'm not just gonna,
Yeah. I'm not just gonna lay down.
I'm not gonna let them beat my behind. I'm gonna try to go for mine.
Mm-hmm. So, girl, they said, "Man, calm down." Butchie sent us or whatever. He's like, "Oh, even though he ain't showing, he was relieved." All right. Anything else you want to say about this? Whatever.
I was glad he was relieved because he took out that knife.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had that knife out there, he started filing his nails. I was like, And the good FYI, this guy is actually the real Omar.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was the real Omar.
That's the real guy. That's who the character's based off of. This guy.
So cool. Okay, though. Can you check if there's any spoilers in the comment for me? Because I want to look at the comment
People
section.
moving their own comments, girl.
Huh?
That's what some people move their own comments.
Okay, so is it safe to look?
um, you good?
Okay. All right, then. Okay, Omar versus the. Oh, okay, see, they already got you. Omar versus the real. Okay, now, Carcetti wins, right? Or the primary or whatever. It looks like he won. To me, I thought it was the full
Well,
election.
you know that you know who he won against, right?
Royce conceded or whatever, right?
You
Right.
know who he won against, right?
Yeah, Royce. So he ain't worried about Tony. So they out celebrating, girl, because he is not worried about Tony. Like Tony is gonna lose, like duh. So they done went had a celebration and everything. First he went out on a walk with his wife, and she was like, I just have a feeling, because he's, like I said, he keeps having this defeated attitude. So he finally gets a call. Royce conceded, and we are gonna basically we won or whatever. And a lot of people that were on his side switched over to my side. So they went to go celebrate, and then she leaves early, which I was like, girl, big mistake, because every time you leave early, this ninja's climbing up in some cuddy. So basically so I was like, this is not good. And Norman leaves and he takes this lady home, and then what does she do? Terry, little horny behind, the man eater that's what I was calling her, I think, last season, the man eater. She goes, you see how the name stuck? Terry, the man eater. Yup. She comes on to him, and so they start kissing and doing this, but he's like, I can't. And she's like, come on, Norman already told me that you almost lost the campaign with your little rendezvous. Because, Norman told him about the blonde chick about 2 months ago. But, so they start kissing again, but then ultimately he still refuses her. And then she's like, oh, okay, well, I guess you have changed. And she leaves. But before she leaves, she's like, write me a check. So how do you feel about all of this with him saying no to her?
I'm glad he did, because she seemed like if this goes further down the line, she would do something dirty just because she's a politician too. She would have something on him, and I'm glad he didn't do it. And he knew her from back in the day, so I'm glad he didn't do it.
Yeah, I thought they already did something back in the day. I thought that was the conversation. Yeah. And I don't know, but for me, I was thinking, well, maybe it's because he doesn't want to do his wife dirty anymore, because she's been really supportive of him and stuff like that. Like he didn't even want her to leave when she did leave. And she's just been.
She was like, "No, it's your night. You go ahead." She was happy for him, but she feel like, it's your night. You go ahead and you celebrate. I got the kids. I'm gonna go home.
Right. And so I kind of feel like that's maybe one of the things that stops him. Like, no, and plus, if I'm pretty sure you noticed that during this time, especially when he thought he was going to lose, he was spending a lot of time with his family, like on the phone, playing with his daughter, on the phone with his wife, playing with his daughter, bingo, whatever game that was, when he was supposed to be out campaigning.
Oh, he was playing like, Connect 4 with her.
Yeah, he didn't care about nothing because at that point he just didn't think he had a chance. So I'm just like, it's just sad because he's already screwed up before, but this time, and she don't know about the other time, you know what I mean? Right. But this time it was nice that he didn't go through with it, but he was still in there kissing on her and stuff. So, child.
I mean, she was set. She was initiating everything. So I think he, how somebody just be like, nah, this is wrong.
Yeah.
I think that, it was Battleship. Okay, I was wrong.
Battleship, right.
I knew it was something like Connect 4 or some crap like that. It was like one of those games.
Yes. So, okay, well, that's how this episode ended. So how did you feel about this episode, Mooch? Would you want to rate the episode?
I'll rate this episode. I want to rate it, but just because we saw Omar get arrested, and this is where you get roped in, so I'm gonna give it an 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing about an 8. Yeah,
because it got you where you want to see what's gonna happen next.
Want to see what's gonna happen next. They gave you a lot of stories that you want to continue to see where it's going. You got the Randy situation, which is like, oh gosh, So
You
it's the
worried
Randy,
about him?
it's the Randy situation, the Omar situation, and then Naaman's
Yeah,
bad.
naming situation too, and you want to see what. To me, you want to see what happens to those kids. That's the porch kids.
Yeah,
So
the
yeah,
stoop. I mean,
the
not the
stoop
stoop.
kids,
I call them the stoop kids. They're the
but they're
corner
corner kids.
kids.
Yeah, so you
Oh
want to
my
see what happens
god,
to the corner kids.
what is wrong with me? I said the stoop kids got scooped up. No, it's the
The corner
corner
kids.
kids. That was my bad. The corner
Mm-hmm.
kids got scooped up. Okay, so yeah, but it was a pretty good episode, but we're literally about to hit the hour mark. We just now did. Thank you guys so much for being here. It is a great chance that I will not be going live on Tuesday, because on Wednesday my chapter 2 is due, and I got 8 pages left, guys, and I got to give it all. You understand?
Yeah, so if
Woo!
you don't see us Tuesday, you know we coming back Sunday.
Yes, indeed. All right. So what you got going on real quick before we get out of here?
Tomorrow night, come and tune in with me 9 p.m. We're gonna be talking about Run the World. So
Girls.
we're gonna talk about that. I got a couple of games and stuff like that, and we're gonna have fun with it.
Yep.
It's a half-hour show. We're gonna have fun with it. Dr. K on deck. Yes, right. Look, I
Can't
gotta.
wait.
I can't be the person tapping her, telling her not to do her schoolwork, so she's gonna get it done, and then we're gonna come back Sunday and do this. But anywho, come
Yeah.
in tomorrow and check us out at 9 p.m. We're talking about Run the World.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. See you, Marlon, Eric. Who else? God King Consciousness was in here. God
Mm-hmm.
King Consciousness, sorry. Renee Hicks, and there were some other people, but thank you,
Savannah.
Savannah. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you later, Little Rock. Everybody have a wonderful and blessed day, a blessed night, and a blessed week. Enjoy the rest of your week.
All right.
Take
Have a
care.
good night, y'all.
Bye.